Hi, this is Henk, and welcome to another edition of the Skull Sessions. And today, my guest is Jaymes Buckman. Is that correct?
That's right. Glad to be
Yeah.
here.
What's up, man? So, let's talk about what you guys are on.
So I'm an actor, model, poet, and main thing at the moment is I'm a singer of the glam punk band Hot Apollo.
Okay.
Yeah, and just this week, actually, this Wednesday, I don't know if this is coming out immediately, but on the 15th of April, we're doing a special free show at a bar in Toronto called Houndstooth for Autism Awareness, sorry, Autism Acceptance Month, where all the bands are autistic, including mine.
Okay, well, I can put it up whenever you want. So if you tell me you want it like right away, no problem.
Okay. And
But
apart from that, yeah, we've got stuff going on. We've got a couple of albums out right now, and we're currently in the process of recording some new singles. But you can check out Hot Apollo. That's the name of the band. Spotify, Bandcamp, SoundCloud, wherever. Honestly, right now, our distributor is having some issues, so some of our stuff is not on Spotify, but it's definitely up on Bandcamp and SoundCloud. So yeah, we're easy to find.
okay. Do you have somewhere like a website or like your mashup on the website where people can see your stuff?
Yeah, hotapollo.com has is our homepage. Also has some like cool merchandise we've been working on. So that's like the best place to find like the central repository for all things Hot Apollo.
Okay, and how would you describe your music?
Louder than thunder, shining like lightning, you know? Bit of glam, bit of punk energy, all rock and roll, all original.
Okay, is it like punk rock, like Black Flag, the Kennedys, or like what would you if you had to compare it to a style of punk? What would you say it was?
Um, Probably something between like Iggy and the Stooges and like California pop punk.
Okay,
Something like between the two, if I had to compare,
all right,
with a
I'd
bit of like
say
glam sensibility.
yeah, I'd say Iggy and Huge is a little bit more like abrasive, and like pop punk is a little bit more polished. Do you head
Yeah,
towards one venue as opposed to the other?
we've kind of got the raw power of Iggy and the kind of like popishness of the California is how I'd say.
So would
I
you
mean,
say?
we honestly, to be honest, we have a lot of stuff. We have like even just the stuff we've released so far. We have like I don't know, probably 40 or 50 songs out right now, and there's like a range of sounds we have. We're not like always stuck in the same mood. Um, but yeah, so like we have a few songs that are like a bit more hardcore, a few songs that are a bit poppier, fancier, and a lot of stuff in the middle.
Okay, what makes it popular? Would you say it's more the vocals? Would you say it's more like the riffs, the guitar, the drums? What would you say gives it that sheen?
Yeah, some of our popular stuff is like more dancey. Like we have this song called "Working on Love." It even has some like synthesizer in it. I don't think like that's like probably an example of like one of our least punk songs, if it's punk at all. It's almost like more like new wave. Um, so we do stuff like that sometimes. We just like do like what sounds good, what's cool, what we can make interesting, and what kind of speaks to like our core identity as a band, which is, you know, a lot of uh sparkle and energy.
Okay, so like they're all different styles. Like I'm old, so I've seen like a whole shitload of different bands. Like they run the gamut. They're from like the Dickies, which are way more political, to like the Black Flag, which is more like personal. To like I don't know, like Jesus Lizard. Which would be like a little bit more like kind of surreal. Would you say there's one thing you go for?
Uh, a lot of my songwriting tends to towards romance and fantasy. Something, you know, kind of weird, supernatural, that kind of thing. The whimsical sometimes. I will get a bit political sometimes, especially the stuff I've been working on the last like year or two has gone a bit more towards that end. But yeah, a lot of it's like like what I'm feeling, what I'm thinking, what I'm imagining in my soul all the time. So kind of, yeah, I'd say personal and is a good way to put it.
Like I noticed a lot of people that are political, especially as punk bands, they don't necessarily pick one politician. They pick a policy that they don't like, and they like talk about how that affects them. Is that the angle you approach?
Yeah, I'd say so. Bigotry and division are the two things that are on my mind a lot. So that informs a lot of the political stuff I espouse in my songwriting.
Okay, so is the band like your main focus right now?
Yeah, it has been for quite a while. I'm this year I've actually kind of like decided that I want to take my acting and modeling a bit off the back burner and bring it more to the forefront. But I don't want to like that's not going to come at the expense of music because like honestly performing with my band is like my favorite thing to do. So I don't want to give it up. I will say it is at least for me historically like the jobs I've had and taken it's always been like way harder to make any money. It's always been harder to avoid losing money in music than it is when I get an acting or modeling job. So that's like part of my reasoning for trying to find a better balance between my various artistic pursuits. Um, but I also just kind of, I don't know, uh, like a bit of variety in my life, you know? I like to do different types of things. But I was from the first time I stepped on stage with the band, like there was like no turning back. So that is like always going to be like the thing that burns right at the core of me.
I figure kind of like being an author or being a musician. It's like you don't make money until you break big, and then all of a sudden you make a considerable amount of money. But there's not like a medium in between.
Yeah, that is cool. Although a lot of people have been telling me that even like at least in like you don't see a ton of like at least rock bands making a ton of money anymore. Like there are some, but I feel like it might be a bit rarer now. Do you? But I don't know. This is just like what this is just what I've heard here and there. Do you have any
But
insight on that?
the feedback that I get from bands is like they make the money by touring. Like nobody makes money off selling albums anymore. Like everybody like because people like download it all the time. There's lots of streaming. Like I'm old. I remember when Napster came up. When Napster was like the big thing, and everybody's like, "Oh, well, stuff like that's gonna ruin the industry." And now basically you can download songs everywhere. So like people make pennies as opposed to what they used to make off selling singles.
But the touring pays for it. The touring makes up for it.
Well, I've heard like when you play a venue, obviously you get paid a certain amount to play the venue. When you sell like a download, you make like cents on the dollar. You make way less. So even if you have like 1,000 downloads, like you didn't actually make that much money because they're not even like a dollar per download. You know, like it
Yeah,
might
no,
be
it's
like
terrible. Yeah, I've looked at it. It's like fractions of a cent per like 1,000 downloads or something.
yeah, yeah.
It's bad, but or streams. But to be fair, it does cost less to record an album, which is still like a fair bit. But it costs less to record an album than it does to tour. So it's like I'm not like uh the most business minded person. I don't really have the brain for that side of things. I'm like all creative. So this stuff is tough for me to figure out. But that's why I'm curious to hear other people's like perspectives on the subject.
Well, I've heard like a lot of like I'm big into like a lot of the like early underground like punk bands and metal bands and stuff like that. And the way that because they obviously want to make their money bid like they're signed to Virgin Records and they suddenly make like piles of cash. It's more so maybe they get money from the venues, although a lot of venues love to rip bands off, but they
Yeah,
also get a lot of money off merchandising. So like when you go see like Sick of It All or Murphy's Law or something like that, like the way that they make most of their money is you go to like they have a table set up and you can buy T-shirts and hoodies and like physical copies. Like nobody really buys like CDs anymore.
of course.
But
Yeah.
and dude, I remember on his fucking tapes, but nobody buys like tapes and CDs, but they buy vinyl. Like vinyl's kind of like come back into fashion. But the thing is, like, because it's giant, you can like see a full size image, and like the notes are like included like in papers inside the sleeve. So those are kind of like a collector only thing, but they sell a lot of those at shows.
Yeah, there's still some prestige to vinyl. There's some like actual like vinyl stores in my city, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like I remember when vinyl went away, but everything was CDs. But now, like you said, people don't even really buy CDs anymore. So it's like I guess I think probably the best way to approach it is like if you're a band, it's like you have freebies so you can sample the band, but then if you want like a full album, then you have to pay for the whole thing.
Makes sense.
So right now, if people wanted to sample your band, you're saying you're like on Spotify and you're like, it's all out there for people to hear it.
Yeah, wherever you listen to music, look up Hot Apollo, and at least some of our stuff will be there. As I said, right now our distributor is having issues, so some of the stuff might not be on every platform, but there'll be some stuff on every platform. And if you want to find the most complete uh, collection, right now everything is on Bandcamp, hotapollo.bandcamp.com, and SoundCloud under Hot Apollo. That's just, but yeah, look for Hot Apollo, HOT space APOLLO, wherever you listen to music. We even have some music videos on YouTube, which I think is very cool. One of the best things I feel I've ever done audio visually is our music video for our song Pistagons. I had such a fun time making that, and I think it shows. It's a really cool video. So if you want to get a sense of our vibe as a band, that's probably a good place to start. But anywhere you can't go wrong.
What do you have out right now? Like, do you have like more than one full length album? Do you have like singles? Like, what do people
We have
get if they're
probably
interested?
we probably have about like 10 singles and three full-length albums, but right now only one of the albums is on Spotify. That's a temporary thing, as I said, distributor issues, but all of it's on Bandcamp and SoundCloud.
Have you seen a big transition in your sound?
Um, when I first started the band, I feel like I was a little less inclined to experiment. And I had an idea of what I wanted our sound to be, and that was like, and since then, and working with different musicians in the band, I kind of got more comfortable with getting further outside the like core zone of that sound, So like that's still there. We still have a bunch of songs that are like this is like definitive, like middle of the circle Hot Apollo, but we've also have done more stuff outside of that, like our new album as of 2025 we put it out in December. It has our first like metal song on it, for instance, and it has a couple of like funk punk songs on it, which is a bit new to us. So yeah, just like experimenting more as time goes on. I've gotten more comfortable with that, and I've realized it's not something to be avoided.
I noticed it like back in the day it used to be like you did not mix styles at all. Like either it was punk or it was metal or it was rap, but you did not mix them all. And then when people first started mixing it, they got a lot of shit. They got a lot of hate over it. But now it's like a lot more common. What have you noticed?
I don't know. I mean, I will say in the scene, I play with a lot of different bands at shows, and yeah, there are a lot of bands, especially punk and metal bands, who like stick to like one uh fairly rigid like type of music and just like go all in on that, and that I do respect. But I'm just like at a place where there's so much I want to do and try, and I want to have fun with it, And some days I'm feeling a bit more poppy, sometimes I'm feeling a bit more funky, sometimes I'm feeling dancey or funky. And I think
Okay.
that's cool. I think that sometimes, you can just like be set up as an artist where you do have that kind of versatility, And I like some of my favorite bands only do one thing, like I love AC/DC, I love the Ramones, but some of my other favorite bands like hop around a bit, Like I just listened to a bunch of like Talking Heads recently, and they do so many different types of things, and no one likes them any less. And I'm just like I don't know, I think I kind of started out more in the AC/DC mindset, and now I'm kind of like coming around to the Talking Heads way of thinking. I'm just like yeah, let's do this because it's cool right now and it still fits our identity, and it rocks. And so
I
yeah, like the core ethos is just like, does it rock? And the answer is always yes.
I think how clever the Talking Heads was is a little bit underrated. Like people just look at him as like, oh, that band with a couple hits, but they're actually. I mean, you see this about everything, but it's like they were ahead of their time. Like what they did kind of transcended. Like the very rigid genres people try to put everything in.
Yeah, and I think we are at a place where both on the micro and macro, um, there are fewer rules, there are fewer guardrails. It's not expected that you have to like fit into one lane. Like the death of the monoculture, I think, has helped a lot, and now people can just like find what works for them and find their niche, and then yeah, I think there's more freedom to like be what you are, and you're not set into like all these like rigidly categorized boxes so much anymore. I think from like what I've seen of the life I've lived and what I've seen and heard of people talking about the past and showing me the past, and I think that's really cool. Um, Now, I mean, I do think there are some drawbacks to it. I know, like, I'm not the most skilled at like social media stuff and online marketing. That's something I could honestly use some help with. I know, like, if you're trying to uh, find success on like YouTube or TikTok, for instance, like it's encouraged to like stick to one thing and just do the same thing every time, week after week. And I'm not so good at that because my brain kind of jumps around and I kind of want to do what excites me in the moment. And yeah, that might not always be like friendly to the algorithm, but I don't understand the algorithm, so I uh I feel like trying to play by its rules would be a losing game. So I just got to do what like makes sense for me.
Okay. Do you find that when you look at an upcoming show, you're like, what's the audience for that? So maybe I'm not saying like you just play to the audience, but I'm saying maybe you pick a certain side of yourself that you figure will be better accepted by that audience.
Yeah, well, so that I will do because as I said, we have like 40 or 50 songs at least to like that we like in a repertoire at any given moment, and so we can kind of tailor it to fit like the kind of show we're playing. Like if someone asks us to play a show with like three other punk bands, then we'll play more of our harder edge stuff, less of our mellow stuff. But if we're like being asked to play like a quieter event or like I don't know, like a cafe or play with like a singer songwriter or whatever, we'll do like our mellower stuff like like a harder edge stuff. We have like Frenzy, or we have even like Pistigons, or Vampire Road, or this new one we wrote called Choco in the Wall Cell. But if we're like doing a softer thing, we might do more of Baby Lord or Give Me Magic or Come Over, you know? So yeah,
So
there are different aspects to the band that we can emphasize how and when we want.
yeah, that's what I was asking mainly. Yeah, because like, I listen to a whole like wide range of stuff, but I'm like, okay, well, if I'm gonna be at a convention, maybe I'll play something like more mellow, like Neurosis, which to me isn't mellow, but if it's like just play whatever you want, like maybe I'll play Obituary. So it'll be like, the dichotomy of like I like all of them. It's just I pick whatever I figure everyone else is going to kind of be into, so I can be like too abrasive for them. So I'm kind of going with that. What would you say your audience is? Is it mainly older people, younger people, middle-aged people? Like, do you have a distinctive audience?
I feel like at least in the alt scenes where I spend time, there's a pretty like big age range, but so it's more about like qualitative than quantitative. It's a lot of the punks and weirdos and eccentrics and neurodivergents and queers. Like those are the people like I feel who show up like the most often. Um, but yeah, it's and the shows we play. It's yeah, usually a lot of punks.
Okay. Yeah, I remember like when I used to go to like 930 Club and CBGB's. I think 930 Club is still around, but CBG's is not. But I remember they'd have like a wide range of stuff, and pretty much everybody that was into underground stuff would go there. It might be like a slower, quieter band, it might be a harder band, but you'd have like a very diverse audience as long as it was like kind of underground.
Yeah, and that's what I love, you know? Like I love people like finding each other. And we've got a here in Toronto, we've got like a pretty cool community of you know the punks and the alts and you know a fair amount of like cohesion and support and warmth and acceptance. And that those are the vibes like I try to accentuate.
Okay, have you toured outside of Canada a lot?
Not yet actually, but it's something I'd be open to.
But you haven't gone outside the country yet?
Not with the band, no.
Okay. And is it something that maybe in the future, or is something that you definitely have planned, or is it something you would like to do?
Something I consider. Some of it's like money though. We haven't like we're not like at a place where it makes like financially yet. We're still
Okay.
like very indie.
Do
We're
you
all
have,
like, yeah, self-run, self-financed right now because we just haven't found the right, um, I guess, like support to work with.
I know a lot of bands go with other bigger bands that have made the draw, and like that kind of helps support the ticket sales. Do you have other bands that you tour with all the time?
We have not done much touring yet, so no, not really.
Oh yeah. So how many times have you, if you haven't toured much, is it like have you mainly played in your home city? What is it?
Yeah, and the surrounding cities.
Okay. But when you play, is it with like local bands? Are there touring bands that you kind of play with as well?
Yeah, there are sometimes we'll play with some touring bands, a lot of local bands and a few touring bands here and there. We actually just got asked to play. Actually, like months ago, we got asked to play at the Alma Combo with this touring band from I think Norway, somewhere in Scandinavia, called Sugarcane Hangover, and we were super excited to open up for them when they came to Toronto. And then like a month ago, I got an email from them saying they broke up, but they still wanted us to do the show for them. So we're just looking to find a replacement band for that show. We've got a couple other local bands working with us on this. So and the venue got moved. So if you're in Toronto and want to see the memorial show for Sugarcane Hangover, come to the Junction Underground on Friday, May 1st. And it'll be a cool time. It'll pour out for Sugarcane Hangover, who I think rock. And they didn't break up because the music sucked. The music was awesome. But you know, sometimes things don't work out. And I'm you know trying to carry the torch for them because they rocked and I was super excited to play with them.
Okay. Just a couple more things. I don't want to keep you here all day, but when people like, do you find that like people who are super into your band are also into a certain thing? Like, you have the people who prefer like PJ Harvey, or they prefer like, I don't know, like something more poppy, something more like more punk rock, more like, hardcore, more like pop punk, Is there a certain like genre that people prefer, the people that listen to your stuff?
I don't know. What I have noticed though is that a lot of people who are hearing us for the first time and dig us, like a lot of them don't have like they don't always listen to like a ton of punk or rock. Like some of them don't like some of them are more like pop or dance or like EDM focused. And they'd be like, you know what? I don't usually listen to stuff like this, but something about what you guys are doing like caught my ear and I'm into it. So that is something I'll notice here sometimes. Is that I guess we're like accessible even to people who aren't like fully immersed in the genre, which I think is cool.
Okay, do you have a show coming up?
Yeah, April 15th, Wednesday at 9 at the Houndstooth in Toronto. We're playing a free show for Autism Acceptance Month, and all the bands have autistic members. My drummer and I are autistic. Uh, the drummer, Spencer's other band is called ASD, and they're also playing, and they're all autistic. And then the other band is called Super Not Okay, and it's a singer-songwriter duo led by an autistic person who writes a bunch of songs about how it feels to be a robot, a quirky robot, as a kind of allegory for, you know, her life with autism. And they're called Super Not Okay, and they're also really cool. So we're Hot Apollo. The other bands are ASD and Super Not Okay, and also very much worth checking out.
Okay, awesome. All right, and so the best way to see yourself would be like you're saying you're on Spotify. Would it be to go to Spotify and look for you?
Wherever you listen to music, honestly, the best place to check us out is Bandcamp. Um, but wherever you like listening to music, listen to us there, and we'll at least have something for you. Oh, and we're also playing the Junction Underground in Toronto on May 1st at 9. That's a Friday, and that's the Sugarcane Hangover Memorial Show. But yeah, where and look for Hot Apollo on uh, TikTok if you want, or hotapollo at rocketmail.com if you want to reach out to me and talk to me about anything. Our Instagram got hacked recently, so can't reach us there right now, but TikTok, YouTube, um, Twitter, Blue Sky, Hot Apollo is where to find us everywhere.
Yeah, my Instagram got hacked and I lost like 17,000 followers. It was a nightmare.
Yeah, it's crazy. I feel like it's happening to everyone right now. Like something is going on over there that's weird, and it's weird. I don't know. I was even like, sorry, I can't get into that. It's so frustrating. It's
All
yeah,
right.
all this business stuff is just. I just
All
like
right.
being on
So,
stage and jumping around, man. That's what I'm here to do.
yeah. All right. So, last question. If I had to compare your music to something, so people are like, well, I like this band, so I would also like Hot Apollo, what would you say it was?
Hmm. I feel like if you like Iggy or the B-52s or Glam or maybe even like The Offspring, like anything that's like kind of fun and quirky and like party vibes, um, but also like eccentric and idiosyncratic, I think you'll dig us. If you like feeling good, you'll dig us. Is how I put it. But we've got in. I feel like every time someone tries to compare us to something, it's always something different. Like I rarely get the same comparison twice. I get David Bowie a lot, but I think that's just because like that's the sparkliest person most people can think of. So I don't think we actually sound that much like David Bowie. Um, but we are just like sparkly in that way. But yeah, I just yeah. So I could list off like I could try to remember like the things people have compared us to. We've gone comparisons to, like even I don't know like The Cure or like Jane's Addiction here and there. But yeah, so I just rattled off a list of names that it's pretty broad. I think like it's not hard to find something you'll like in our repertoire. But yeah.
Okay,
So
well,
I'm not the best to answer this question because I don't really think in terms of a comparison. I just think yeah, it's the music we make. It's cool. But hopefully that helps a bit.
okay, awesome. All right, do you have anything else you want to throw there to the social sphere?
It was really cool being on this pod for the first time, and I love your background. It's very
Oh, thank
cosmic. I'm really feeling that right now.
you.
Like in the like
Space,
other
yeah,
dimensional sparkles. Yeah, it's a
yeah.
vibe.
Awesome. All right, well, thanks, man. Thanks for the compliment.